they may not realize that I actually had a brief brush with politics, that I was an early member of the A Connecticut Party. I don't know if you remember that. It was an independent party started by Lowell Weicker, who I was a big supporter of. They actually asked me to run for state rep at West Hartford, and really just to hold that position till the Democratic Party could figure out who they were and who they were going to position for that role. So I became the representative for the A Connecticut Party for West Hartford. I started to actually have to, newspapers were coming to me. I was in it for about 4 weeks to my wife, and I held the position until Andy Fleischman became the Democratic representative. And at that point, I was supposed to gracefully bow out, but I started to get a little excited about it, and I said, well, maybe I can do this. And finally, my wife talked some sense into me. There's no way you can continue your career. We've got these kids. And so I think you probably ought to gracefully step aside, which I did, which was the best thing I ever did, because Andy was totally dedicated and did a wonderful job, and much better a job than I would have been able to do. So I was, I thought that was, so for me it was a stressful period, but it was really interesting to be involved and to see how that part of the world actually operates. I am not a guardian or a maintainer. I am a person that is very focused on a vision and where we want to go. So for me, it is all about moving the firm forward, having a clear vision as to where you want to go, and never ever being relentless in the pursuit of that, and looking for the next way to be creative and innovative and to be part of a national dialogue. So that, for me, it's getting all of us in believing that we can do that and progressing the company into a position where it is the national practice that it is today. The only other thing I would say is that be true to yourself. Understand who you are, and distinguish yourself by being true to who you are, because that comes across to your clients, to your colleagues, to your staff as being authentic and legitimate. And so I've always tried to be clear and embrace who I am, and I think that's important. I tell my sons to do that. One is that the world is increasingly competitive, and for most of our clients, it's a zero-sum game, and that and because of that, they are looking for an advantage. And as an architect, being able to assist your clients and to help them be more competitive, to attract the best, is your role. And in order to do that, you have to be on the leading edge of what is going on in their industry. You have to provide them a national perspective. Everybody is competing globally and competing nationally, and what we bring to our clients is the latest thinking, the latest trends, and helping them understand their competition, what their competition is doing, and how they can compete with that. I would probably be interested in film. I mean, film for me is a very powerful, it's a visual profession, it's a powerful profession. It has a huge impact on the community. And similar to architecture, where you're having an impact, you're trying to do good, you're trying to impact the community, you're trying to inspire. So for me, those two professions, I would find that to be a wonderful profession to be in. The other thing I really admire people who write. It is not a skill set I have, but the clarity of good writing is something that I find really fascinating. When I started with Cesar Pelli and was pushing a project in a different direction, he said to me, Bob, I can go much further if I row with the current. And here's a world famous architect that could take a client anywhere he wanted to. But he chose to always find something that the client felt was important and leverage that to take the client even further and create even greater, better architecture. And so understanding that, you don't always have, we often want to just, we have a better idea. Let's do that. Understanding how to manage a client and understanding how to gather people's ideas together to take it further was a really good lesson to me. The other one came from my son. And he said, I said to him, you've been fortunate. You've had some unfortunate luck with the recession, but you've also been very lucky. And he said to me, yes, I've had some good luck, but I've recognized it and I had the skill set to take advantage of it. And that's what you have to do in this world, that you have to realize when there's an opportunity, and then you have to position yourself so that when that comes, you can take advantage of it. And that's really the way I've run this practice, is that you look at that opportunity, which you might not understand as an opportunity, but that you have positioned yourself to take advantage of it, and you move fast and quick.